Potenza, Italy. A town steeped in tradition, sunlight dappling the cobblestone streets. Elisa Claps, a bright, devout girl of 16, lived a life woven into the fabric of this community. She attended church, confided in her diary, and dreamed of a future filled with love and family. On a crisp September morning, she vanished. Elisa left for church, her usual routine. She never arrived. Panic bloomed in the hearts of her family as minutes stretched into hours. The church, once a sanctuary, now echoed with their fear. Where was Elisa? Had she run away? The thought was unbearable, so at odds with her character. The police began their investigation, a quiet town suddenly under a harsh spotlight. Friends, family, acquaintances, all questioned, scrutinized. Days bled into weeks, each one a hammer blow to the Claps family's hope. The community, once a source of comfort, now hummed with suspicion and doubt. Elisa's disappearance became a chilling mystery, a wound carved deep into the heart of Potenza. The girl who once filled her diary with dreams had become an enigma, her fate a terrifying question mark. The search for answers had begun, but the path was dark and the truth remained elusive. Suspicions swirled like the autumn wind. Danilo Restivo, a local youth known to Elisa, became a person of interest. He had a reputation, a darkness that clung to him. He had been the last to see another young girl years ago before she too vanished without a trace. Restivo's alibi was flimsy, his demeanor unsettling. He spoke of strange encounters, of seeing Elisa on the day she disappeared. His words were a tangled web, designed to confuse and mislead. The police dug deeper, uncovering a pattern of disturbing behavior. A fascination with cutting hair. The investigation hit a wall. Evidence was scant, whispers and rumors not enough to hold Restivo. He remained free, a specter haunting the Claps family. Their grief was compounded by frustration, the agonizing knowledge that Elisa's fate remained unknown. Years passed, seasons changing, but the pain remained frozen in time. The unanswered questions gnawed at them, the lack of justice a bitter pill to swallow. The community, once united in grief, began to fracture, whispers of doubt and suspicion poisoning the well of empathy. The church, once Elisa's sanctuary, became a symbol of despair. Rumors spread like wildfire, whispers of a cover-up, of secrets buried deep within the holy walls. The community, once devout, now looked upon the church with a mixture of anger and suspicion. A chilling discovery in 2010 sent shockwaves through Potenza. Elisa's remains were found hidden in the attic of the Most Holy Trinity Church, the very place she had gone to pray on that fateful day. The news was a hammer blow, confirming their worst fears. The church, meant to be a place of refuge, had become Elisa's tomb, her body concealed for 17 long years. The revelation ignited a firestorm of outrage and grief. The community felt betrayed, their faith shaken to its core. The focus shifted to the church itself, suspicions falling on those who had access to the attic. Had someone within the church been involved in Elisa's disappearance? Or had they simply failed to protect her, turning a blind eye to the evil lurking in their midst? Fear gripped Potenza. The realization that a monster had walked among them, hiding in plain sight, sent chills down their spines. The idyllic image of their town, once a source of pride, was shattered. Parents clutched their children closer, their eyes filled with a mixture of fear and suspicion. The streets, once alive with laughter and chatter, grew quiet, the air thick with unease. The sense of community, once a source of strength, now felt fragile, broken. The investigation intensified, the pressure mounting to bring Elisa's killer to justice. The church, once a powerful institution, found itself under intense scrutiny, its reputation tarnished. The community demanded answers, their anger palpable. The discovery of Elisa's remains had ripped open old wounds, exposing the dark underbelly of a town grappling with a horrific crime. The search for truth and justice became a collective obsession, a way to reclaim their town and honor the memory of a girl lost too soon. 17 years. 17 years of agonizing uncertainty, of birthdays and holidays marked by absence. 17 years of whispers and rumors, of false leads and dead ends. The Claps family endured a torment that no parent should ever have to face. Their grief was a living thing, a constant companion that cast a long shadow over their lives. The pain of not knowing, of being denied the chance to say goodbye, was unbearable. Yet they clung to hope, fueled by the love for their daughter and the unwavering belief that justice would prevail. They became tireless advocates, their voices echoing in the halls of justice, demanding answers, demanding accountability. They refused to let Elisa's memory fade, keeping her spirit alive through their unwavering pursuit of the truth. Their strength was both inspiring and heartbreaking. They had been dealt an unimaginable blow, yet they refused to be broken. They channeled their grief into action, their love for Elisa a beacon of light in the darkness. The discovery of Elisa's remains, while horrific, brought with it a glimmer of hope. Finally, after all these years, there was a chance to identify her killer, to bring closure to a family and a community desperate for answers. Forensic experts meticulously examined the evidence, searching for any clue that could lead them to the perpetrator. DNA evidence linked Danilo Restivo to the crime scene. He had been living in England, seemingly escaping his past. But the shadows of Potenza stretched across the miles, and the net was closing in. The evidence was damning, the pieces of the puzzle finally falling into place. Restivo was extradited to Italy, where he faced trial for Elisa's murder. The trial was a media spectacle, the eyes of the world watching as the Claps family finally had their day in court. They faced their daughter's alleged killer, their pain and anger palpable. The prosecution presented a compelling case, detailing Restivo's disturbing behavior, his history of violence against women, and the overwhelming forensic evidence. The defense countered with claims of contamination and a lack of concrete proof. The courtroom became a battleground, the truth obscured by legal maneuvering and conflicting narratives. Section 7. The Trial and the Conviction. The trial was a grueling ordeal for the Claps family, each day a painful reminder of their loss. They sat through graphic testimony, their faces etched with grief and anger as the details of their daughter's final moments were laid bare. The prosecution painted a picture of a cold and calculating killer, a sexual predator who preyed on innocent girls. They presented evidence of Restivo's obsession with cutting hair, a chilling detail that linked him to Elisa's murder and the disappearance of another young woman in England. The defense argued that Restivo was a scapegoat, a convenient suspect in a case that had baffled investigators for years. They pointed to inconsistencies in witness testimony and questioned the reliability of the forensic evidence. After months of hearings and deliberations, the jury reached a verdict. Danilo Restivo was found guilty of the murder of Elisa Claps and sentenced to 30 years in prison. The courtroom erupted in cheers, a collective sigh of relief as justice, though long delayed, was finally served. Section 8. Unanswered questions, unresolved grief. The guilty verdict brought a sense of closure, but it did not erase the pain. The Claps family had finally seen their daughter's killer brought to justice, but it came at a heavy price. The trial had reopened old wounds, forcing them to relive the nightmare of Elisa's disappearance and murder. Questions lingered, gnawing at their peace of mind. Why Elisa? What had happened in those final moments? And what about the role of the church? Had they been complicit in covering up the crime, protecting one of their own at the expense of a young girl's life? The church maintained its innocence, but the damage was done. Their reputation lay in tatters, their moral authority shattered. The community felt betrayed, their faith shaken to its core. The shadow of Elisa's murder hung heavy over Potenza, a constant reminder of the darkness that had invaded their town. The Claps family vowed to continue their fight for the whole truth, to expose any cover-up and hold all those responsible accountable. Their pursuit of justice had become a mission, a way to honor Elisa's memory and ensure that no other family would have to endure their pain. Section 9. Justice delayed, justice denied. Danilo Restivo's conviction was a victory, but it was a hollow one. It could not bring Elisa back, nor could it erase the years of pain and suffering her family had endured. The case highlighted the failings of the justice system, the slow grind of bureaucracy that had allowed a killer to walk free for so long. The Claps family's tireless pursuit of justice had exposed the cracks in the system, the lack of resources, and the indifference that often plagued investigations into missing persons cases. Their story served as a stark reminder that justice delayed is often justice denied. The case also raised uncomfortable questions about the role of the church in society. The fact that Elisa's body had been hidden in a church for 17 years, and that some within the church may have known about it, sent shockwaves through Italy and beyond. The Elisa Claps case became a symbol of the fight for justice, a rallying cry for families of missing persons who refused to let their loved ones be forgotten. It highlighted the need for greater transparency and accountability within the justice system and the church. Section 10. The Legacy of Elisa Claps. Elisa Claps would forever be frozen in time, a bright and innocent girl whose life was tragically cut short. But her story lived on, a testament to the enduring power of love, faith, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. Her family's determination had inspired countless others, giving them the strength to keep fighting for their loved ones, to demand answers, and to hold those in power accountable. Elisa's legacy was one of courage and resilience, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope could endure. The town of Potenza bore the scars of Elisa's murder, but it also carried the weight of her memory. Her story had forced them to confront uncomfortable truths, to acknowledge the darkness that existed within their midst. But it had also brought them together, united in their grief and their determination to seek justice. Elisa Claps' case remained a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of innocence, the devastating impact of violence against women, and the importance of never giving up hope. Her story served as a call to action, a plea for a world where girls like Elisa could live without fear, where justice prevailed, and where their memories would forever be etched in our hearts.